Hi, how's it going today? So, well, in case you did not read the title, today we are going to be talking about Santina and Dr. Miami. So I'm going to be putting this into context as a permission marketing case study by talking about Santina's marketing strategies in terms of disruptive marketing and connecting that to permission marketing. Um, and I'm also going to be clarifying that we are just analyzing Dr. I'm about to call Santina a doctor. Santina's work on Dr. Miami's social media. But so this is not a reflection of Santina in general, not a reflection of Dr. Miami in general, but I will be giving my thoughts on what we're going to be looking at and talking at today of their work that they presented online for us to see. And I also want to lead with I obviously think, Santina does a great job with marketing because the point of marketing is awareness and lead acquisition. And I'll be able to show you the proof of how I can prove that she does a great job of that. And I'll also talk about why her strategy is so difficult to replicate. Um, yeah, I have a lot to say about it all. I'm looking forward to it. Did I lead with a disclaimer that, like, I will be criticizing a few elements, but um, it's also like more like an analysis for um, our general, it's for commentary, critique, reaction analysis from a retrospective, strategy and analysis perspective from a how we can troubleshoot our own marketing, not from, anywhere negative, just from thinking, about our social promotion. All right, let's just get into the damn thing. I talk too much. Hi, my name is Lexi, also known as and doing business as Deaf Child. In 2022, my company was listed as number 14 Best Louisiana Events Companies and Startups. I have been doing business as Deaf Child since 2013. I have my Bachelor of Science in Music Industry Studies and Business Administration, and deafness runs in my family genetically. Speech is not fully accessible to me. And I've got about 50 certifications in marketing and sales that you can find at noladeafchild.com. So, basically, as we all know, Santina did put out a video relatively quickly that she was leaving Dr. Miami's office. And to be honest, all of this going viral is how I myself found out about both Dr. Miami and Santina. I personally had no clue who either of them were before then because I just live in New Orleans. I don't live in Miami. And so I think whenever you have a bigger following, obviously, when you're online, you can go international or global, but you do tend to become the most well known on a certain point in the area either you're from or doing business in. Typically, if you have some sort of like brick and mortar location where people have to go there in person to interact with you. If you're strictly online, that can change, but for people who have like, the point is to get people to a place, that's typically where you're looking for the most conversions would be, if not within your local community, from people who would be coming local to you, you know? Um, and so that is relevant just in terms of like, well, who is going to even know who these people are and why I don't know who they are. So, you know, um, so with in terms of why she quit, we're gonna look at that video, but let's just look at real quick. We'll analyze what other people are saying about her and about him. Let's just get the perspective, find out how I found out. Whoops, I had my video muted here. Unmute that. Okay.
People are throwing shade at Dr. Miami after Santina left. And Santina recently came out with a video.
this does not have captions. Okay. When I try to put captions up,
Okay, so by now everybody knows that I quit Dr. Miami.
these do not have captions. When I put, last time I tried to put live captioner up on here, it wasn't working.
People are throwing shade at Dr. Miami.
That's crazy, because right now on my own screen where I'm dragging the live captioner around, but on the OBS where I'm recording, it is not showing the captioner, it is just showing my mouse where I'm dragging it over that girl's shoulder. But if I look on my desktop, there is a captioner there. So that's fucking weird how that works. Oops. Wrong button. I don't know. I didn't mean to hit you. So that didn't work for me, but alright, so basically this chick is making a video about it. And let's look at these comments here. Let's pull that over. So this person's like, whatever, got some likes. Some people are, making some accusations. I kind of agree, like, if there's nothing online to cause speculation regarding that, I do think it's weird. I also think it's just totally I mean, I guess people are looking for the gossip, with the speculation about if there is an affair. But to be honest, I would be surprised if there was an affair. And it's like nothing, no offense to Dr. Miami or whatever, but Santina could do way better. Fucking, a lot of people are saying he's a Zionist. I would quit working for that. Y'all know how I feel, free Palestine. Um, so those are a couple of things in the comments here.
Okay, so by now
and these are all speculation, and the reason I'm discussing this is from a PR perspective, analyzing the public opinion. I do not want to give any credence to any of these rumors. I just want to point out that people are saying some things about them. And I think it's interesting to analyze how the society responds to the public in the fallout of relationships, because it's important to consider these things when you go into them as well. Um, so somebody said she's not following Dr. Miami anymore. That is interesting. Someone said that she left because of the TikTok ban. Um, Someone said I thought she was getting paid well, but if she had two jobs, I mean, it's actually pretty common. Um, it's actually pretty common for social media management, for anyone in marketing, really. These days, a lot of, even most agencies are offering fractional offers for their retainers and things. Like, a lot of the marketing field these days is contract work. Most of the full-time retainers I see in marketing are at marketing agencies with multiple clients for you to manage at those agencies. Most small businesses are offering part-time these days anyway. Oh my god, I just like drank some Sprite, and then like I was putting it down. I don't know how the fuck it happened, but I am spilling things. So, somebody, anyone in the marketing or business field or like web development field having multiple jobs, very common. Doesn't mean she's not necessarily, I mean, it obviously means we need to make more money elsewhere, but it may not necessarily mean that she's not getting paid enough for the hours she's doing. It could just mean there's not enough hours, um, or, you know what I mean, in that regard. Somebody else is talking about the videos are her idea and delivers them well, but who gets the money from views and lives? I've never gone to Dr. Miami's lives, but I know he's got millions, so I know that they do have the potential to make money. Typically, legally, the account holder would get all of the money. So legally, it would be, would have been worked out in advance in their contract, and anything not worked out in advance in their contract legally would be Dr. Miami's to keep. If somebody wants to know about who gets the money from the views and lies, to answer baby Tita's comments here, um, let's see. Someone else that she probably signed an NDA. I wouldn't doubt if she did sign an NDA, because most law offices and most law offices and most doctor and like a lot of things, they'll have you sign an NDA, but that's typically in regards to client information. Depending on what the NDA says, she could probably speak out about this, but it's more of like, I have left a lot of people, and I left some people in good terms, some people in bad terms, and some people I made a decision to make an announcement that I was leaving them, and some I did not. But in her case, she had to make that announcement because the reason she has to make an announcement, which we'll also get to, is the way she builds other people's platform is through her identity. So I also think, like, yeah, she does a great job managing other people's social media, and if that's what she's getting offers to do and what she wants to take payment for, she's doing a great job. She's going to keep doing a great job. But what I think she would be better at, based on what I perceive her skill set, is focusing on herself as an influencer and not being in the role of someone else's social media manager, but more so being in the role of doing brand deals with other people, because her marketing strategy is her, and I mean, there's more to her marketing strategy than just her, but she is a big part of her marketing strategy. And I've honestly never seen another social media manager um make themselves like such a face. I wouldn't say she's the main face, because Dr. Miami is the face of Dr. Miami, of course, still. But she was calling it Dr. Miami's like cinematic universe, or maybe he called it that. I don't know who created it, but it was being called that, and she was a part of it. And so like, in that regard, I've never seen a social media manager put themselves in their client's business in that way. In every other place I've ever worked for, it's always been, we are trying to represent your team. We're not trying to promote ourselves. So I do think there's nothing bad. I think it's her in her natural it was like her natural tendency to, like, her light just shines that bright. It's like when she's at her most creative self, that's how she comes out, is how I feel. Like, I don't feel she's just trying to make the content all about her, but I just feel that that is the way in which she creates, in which she is a part of it. um and maybe she does do it differently for other clients. I'm, again, speaking strictly as to what I can analyze with what I see on Dr. Miami. So we've done enough theorizing about what, general public perceptions could be. I want to get into Dr. Miami's page next. And I wanted to look into, so when you click here, it goes to the link tree, and that takes you here, and it says Plastic Surgery Miami, and it leads with the Brazilian butt lift, because that's pretty popular these days. Um, and then he's got a landing page from there. This is where that takes you. Um, and so we're going to analyze a little bit of this information. Um, I do think so. I've done marketing for a plastic surgeon as well before, and the approach that they took was a bit more professional with their general approach. So I will say I have some concerns about Dr. Miami's general approach in general, but I also don't think that this is a Santina issue. I think this is a Dr. Miami's personality issue because um just look at this picture. You know what I'm saying right here? But so Dr. Miami's picture, so like right here we've got pen. We've penned it Santina 2023. Okay, that's actually a good timeline. So she was working with them for over at least a year now. Um, and even longer because, the next penned one he has is Santina. Um, and the next penned one is Santina. You know, I do find that pretty uncommon. Um, I don't think there's anything wrong with it for a marketing strategy. If it's getting views, it's getting views. We live in an attention-based economy. So we see 16 million, 7.3, 46 million views. These are a lot of views. Perhaps they're their most viewed total, but yeah. And you can see from just a quick scroll how much Santina has been a major focus of their social media strategy. So their entire social media strategy stays in the aware I would say it's more of an attention focused than an awareness because we've gone through like the different models of the content funnels like ADA, attention, interest, desire, action for the content marketing funnel, and then as well as like the buyer, but then connecting that to the buyer's journey would be awareness, consideration, decision, right? So attention doesn't necessarily always mean awareness. And there's also more of like what type of energy are you like with some of the content and some of the way that women could be perceived as being treated, would that be a safe space for women to then go get plastic surgery is what I want to know. um and right here this says Santina and I actually cannot stand each other, but neither of us can leave because I need views and she needs money. And then the caption says it would be on par with the frenemies breakup. And that's their entire vibe for their entire channel and social content strategy, I perceive it as. And I kind of feel like it's kind of them telling on themselves because I'm not trying to be rude, but I've never seen anybody joke, quote unquote, joke about that much and it not actually be like the truth where they actually just didn't like each other, you know? And I can't, was it on Santina's profile? There was an interview right here. Yep.
We didn't
Okay,
talk.
hold on. So there's a captioner right here. I hope that y'all can see it right there.
Talk about in the last episode, which we filmed approximately 30 seconds ago,
Yes.
is that today I got my lips tattooed.
Oh.
That's cosmetic. That's plastic.
Yes. What's the crime?
The crime is what
Look
I
at
look
her.
like right now.
Oh,
I think you
You
look good.
cannot insult me.
So at the beginning of this video, it said when everybody thinks that the beef you have with Dr. Miami is fake, but it's in real life. Um, and I think this little next little vibe where she's vibing out and kind of singing, like where she's like, "You cannot insult me," is where people are referring to her as Dr. Gina Linetti because I mean not doctor. I keep saying doctor, calling people doctors when they're not a fucking doctor. Whatever. But where people keep calling her Gina Linetti of Dr. Miami. Um, and I could see that right here because that is some very Gina Linetti energy.
Because I do it first and better.
You are now my elite employee. You have been promoted.
It's so sad when
I love the face of immediate like cringe and disgust because she was like, "You got that wrong."
the old people in your life misquote TikToks.
You have been promoted.
So tell the people what you did to your lips exactly.
Picture a blow up doll.
That was my joke that you stole from me.
No, but
you
it's
co-opted my joke.
Yes, he
This
did.
is what men do.
true. I told your joke better than you. That's all.
Did you?
I told your joke better than you. Like, I don't know if men think they're like charming or cute or smart assy with that approach, but the I can tell your story better than you energy is something that always rubs me the wrong way. And even if it's just in a joking way now, it's about her cosmetic procedure, you know what I mean? And he's still her doctor. And I really feel like when you're going through these cosmetic procedures, which are some of the most vulnerable times of your life, to have this be the energy that you could be walking into, it feels like Carol Ann, stay away from the light to me. You know, and this isn't really a reflection on Santina because Santina is just there. And Santina, honestly, like in this interview, she looks like it feels like she got into this relationship because she just kind of met this dude. She was like, "Yeah, man, I'll take your fucking money. I can do some work." And then she started working with him, and now she's like, "Fuck, man. Let's. How do I get out of this?" Like, that is the face that I'm getting in this interview. And again, I'm not her. I can't speak for her. I'm speaking strictly to how I feel about their attitude to each other.
Or did you just tell it?
All right, guys, stop. This is my job all day is refereeing.
And then that person says, "This is my job all day as a referee," which kind of implies that they're like that she has to referee them all day, or that they're like this, you know, they're in conflict, you know. Um, and maybe it's meant to come off like, "Oh, we're just work buddies. We can kind of go back and forth," but it doesn't really. There's just like aggressive because it's such a personal, sensitive topic. It's your face that we're quote unquote joking about. You know what I mean? It feels too personal to be lighthearted to me personally. I think.
Well, she got her lips
Let her tell what she
colored
got.
to
Another man trying to tell a woman's story.
Okay,
blow up doll.
We didn't talk about.
You know what's so? I thought that was funny. Another man trying to tell a woman's story. Blow up doll. um. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, I knew that that video was there. All right. So back to Dr. Miami. I remember whenever he did this, I think people were saying. So I thought I saw a comment before about Santina, like, "Oh, this is what happens when Santina leaves or some shit like that." But now I feel like I'm making that up because I don't see the comment. But I swear I don't think I was making that up. Because I'm not that creative, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm like, you know what I mean? Fucking. So, yeah. Fucking. I do want to know is there if there I don't need to know, like, I mean, it's none of my business, but I guess I'm curious. Is there like was there like an agreement that Santina would be primarily involved? Oh, well, he posted. I guess this is why they think that he's a Zionist. Okay, because he's got Miriam El Zagwe on there. I think that's how you say her name. I don't know her name. Okay, but I wonder, like, if beforehand, whenever Santina was like, "Okay, I'm going to do your social media," if there was like an agreement before that she would be a primary part of it. Um, I wonder if, like, what was the agreement beforehand? Because it feels more like reality TV show, like botched makeover, kind of meets Mean Girls. I don't know. Than it meets Jackass, to be honest. Like it feels like he's trying to be the Viva La Bam of um surgery or some shit. Like I just feel like I'm watching a bad MTV, and I don't feel like, because here's the thing, like I think Santina's and choice to be involved could be a part of her marketing strategy, but could this entire storyline be Santina, or is this his energy? Because typically social, unless you're doing more than what social media management, like you're doing full-on web development and stuff too, typically you're only, if you're just doing social media, you're only involved. Okay, so now we're going way back. It doesn't look like Santina is involved in these. I don't know. Is there a way to do plastic surgery and cosmetic surgery that isn't inherently sexist or misogynistic or anything like that? You see where he has that Dr. Miami, like, imagery in the background there? That looks right there. It looks just like his brand elements right here. Yeah, so he looks like he's been having this energy long before Santina was around. Like it was already his branding that she stepped into. Um, and I feel like, because I'm just Googling a random cosmetic surgeon in New Orleans now. Okay, here we go. Who do you trust? What looks more trustworthy? This website or this one? I just want to know for the class. It's just a question. It's just a question. It's just a question. Let's find a TikTok page. Oh, it doesn't even have to be. Oh, here we go. Honestly, I don't care if they have less views. I would rather go here to get surgery. Would you rather go here to get surgery, or whoopsie, going to the wrong or do my bad. I am moving my browsers all around here, dropping shit, clicking shit. Life is so hard. Wait, where the fuck did my other window go? This window goes here. No, not there. Technical difficulties. You know what? Alright, hold your ears. Some loud music is about to come. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have on so many fucking tabs. It's hard to keep up with all this. So, where are we? All right. So, which one would you rather look at here? So here we got Dr. Miami. We got Dr. Miami here. So would you rather go for your husband said what or this? You know what I mean? Like there's more medical informational. It's just more professional. Um you know what else I'm interested in? Okay, they on average make around 80,000 and his salary is reported to be around 6 million apparently. Okay, so he's doing well. It's not like he has no sales. Let's go to the top. So, I don't know. Yeah. This, it's like when you look at A or B, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel professional. So when we look at his analytics, I don't know what happened around September. Did he really lose around 2 to 3 million followers September 2023? We got it. That makes me want to Google Dr. Miami September 23. What happened? Like, let's find out. Let's go to TikTok search engine. And whatever's taking me to my page, I'm out of it. I think I like search this by date. That would be super helpful. I'm gonna have to do a bigger deep dive to see if I can figure out what happened. But if somebody knows, please tell me. Ah. Um. Okay, so now I see why everybody's calling him a Zionist. But also, like that didn't happen though. Like this happened. I don't know. So yeah, it's undeniable he's been doing really well with his views, with his monthly game likes, monthly game videos. So he's getting millions of views. He's got millions of followers, etc. Um, so I was kind of curious as to how that's translating with his website. On TikTok, I know it links to his link tree, and it looks like he's getting a good bit of clicks to his link tree organically. Um, but I believe only a few people are clicking from there once they're on that, you know? Um, so like in relation, and these are third party analytics, so there's a lot of room for error because they're not all the access to the data is based on what settings different people have available to be tracked. So there's a lot of room for error in the data. But um, even still, there should be some higher clicks, I feel, from the link tree. Um, because the link tree is where the TikTok is, and the TikTok is where all of the views are. So it's like if the TikTok isn't converting that much, then how beneficial is the strategy? And again, these are all hypothetical ifs. Without having access to the back end, there is no way for me to confirm these stats. These are third party analytics that we are making inferences from. And so with that regard, I did happen to notice like on Santina's link tree, Santina has a podcast, and she does have an Amazon storefront, so I believe she's likely got an affiliate. I'm assuming she's doing an affiliate situation and monetizing that. And I'm assuming she's going to, if she hasn't, I have not looked at her YouTube video, but I'm assuming if she hasn't been monetizing that, then she will. So I'm assuming she's monetizing in these ways. I'm assuming she's at least got that one other client. And I've seen several other people say they want to work with her, so I don't think she's going to have a problem um, with lead acquisition. I do think that Dr. Miami is just going to be advertising to people that think and have the same sort of mindset as him. But I kind of felt some red flags from what I saw in the advertising. I do think Santina is extremely gifted at advertising. She's extremely gifted at getting awareness, getting views, and utilizing um, I guess you could say clickbait because she'll use trends. She utilizes a mix of trends and clickbait, but not necessarily rage bait. I don't think I've seen her do rage bait. I think there's a difference between clickbait and rage bait. I don't like rage bait. As long as you're not clickbaiting trauma, I'm usually okay with that. Um, but yeah, so I've seen her do, mostly those two strategies besides involving and centering it like around herself too. I think that's also a part of where she makes these like jokes about real life drama. That's part of what people stick around for because they want to see like what unfolds with what is happening there. Um so some people do think that
My vibe right now is just living life. I am just here to live life. I was just there living life. You can't say we didn't live life.
We are definitely living life.
Just like live life and have fun. Live that life, girl. Live that life. My vibe right now is just living life.
I do think it's interesting that Santina posted this video about getting fired too. On one hand, I'm like, that's interesting because it kind of, she's like normalizing talking about ebbs and flows and gaining and losing employment. And I think that should be normalized. And on another level, I do wonder what will be the social perception and questioning of her when people are like, okay, well, what about keeping clients? And to that I say, I don't think you should have to, stay in a relationship you don't want to be in. And I don't work with people I don't want to work with. Fuck them, suck my dick, that type of shit. But on another level, it's like when you do post about losing work and you're not explaining why, then people do start to make their own conclusions and assumptions. And even though people are going to do that anyway, even if you do share your side, I think putting your side out there, like, or at least putting out some sort of statement that even if you can't tell the full thing, that is a bit more, that kind of, leaves you a less demystified oh, than just kind of basically saying, yeah, I'm not working there anymore and I'm not going to talk about it. I feel like is a bit better because there's a way to basically be like, I don't want to talk negatively on my employer or anything, but we're gonna be parting ways. We're still, you know, I wish him the best and all of that, but I am moving on because, and then if you give them a reason why, even if it's not like any of their business, but you could just basically be say, because I am making space for other opportunities, things like that. Um, when you give them like just like any answer related to what is actually happening with you, it kind of shuts down speculation, and other things can be true at the same time, you know. He like, I don't know that this is the truth. I don't know that this is the case. I'm gonna make a hypothetical scenario here because I don't know what the fuck happened. But like, say you know they left on bad terms and he was a piece of shit, and she was like, yeah, that guy's a fucking asshole, but I can't fucking talk about it because my damn NDA. You know what I mean? She could just be like, yeah, I'd love to pursue better business opportunities. And instead, you know, what that kind of does is gives people like a reason, like, yeah, you're moving on to something better. Um, and it doesn't really give them a chance to speculate that, oh, you're sleeping with his wife, you know? Um, or if they do, if they are anyway, honestly, they're probably speculating that because they want to bang you. But fucking, because you know none of that is anybody's business unless you want to make it their business, but you know. um and to that, I think we could open up a larger discussion about what is a social media manager's role in taking on clients and working with businesses, because if your primary strategy for doing people's social media is like, I don't know who your other clients are, and I'm not going to look into you like that, but like, if that's your social media strategy for all your clientele, I think you're better suited as your own influencer and using that influence to uplift others, you know. Because for me, with social media, there should be more of a focus on not just getting attention, but with full funnel growth. You know what I'm saying? Because on one level, when your attention is only focused on the top of funnel, when you're not trying to connect from the top, middle, or bottom funnel, the sales to lead hand off, then you get stuck in more of a PR phase of marketing than in a lead generation phase of marketing. And PR is part of marketing. And I think that could be more of your better focus. But what about lead acquisition? You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, fucking, but I will say, you know, connecting these views. So we did see that they do get a few clicks monthly onto their website from Linktree. Um, And so I'm assuming, because we could also see that this was an organic strategy, meaning he was not paying for those clicks. So I do believe that that is primarily likely from TikTok, where there are the millions of views. Um, I do feel that because the strategy is so focused on the top of funnel, you have to get way more views to get to a sell than if you have a funnel based on moving people through top, middle, and bottom funnel. You can do less views and still get a sell because you're giving people more interactions and more of those touch points to move through their buyer's journey with you. um I feel like they're just trying a little too hard to be like Grand Theft Auto meets Joe Dirt. You know what I mean? Um, like he wants to look like Grand Theft Auto, but then he's so Joe Dirt because he's like, "Show me your boobies." Oh my god, yeah, dude, that is definitely Dr. Miami. He's just the fucking Joe Dirt of plastic surgery. Fucking, so yeah, what I did want to connect this to though, but they do, that is disruptive marketing because, you know, you're not getting permission to be advertised to about plastic surgery in those regards. Um, and you're not really getting spread awareness on plastic surgery or anything. Instead, what they're doing is disrupting your feed with attention grabbing material, and then whoever is interested from that and clicks through their content from that is being sent to their website where it moves into permission marketing after you contact them. So they're starting with disruption and then moving into permission. Um, and so I wanted to give a summary on permission marketing because we've been talking a lot also about consensual sales and permission marketing. And it's just the idea where you are making sure that someone has the choice. You're getting consent to have a further discussion about sales and advertising with somebody before you further market to them. Um, and the reasons people don't like it is it limits you to people who have given you permission. And so people prefer, with disruptive, you don't need permission, or with cold contacting. And all social media, in some ways, um, could be considered. It's a mix of cold and warm, typically, because you'll have your followers, but then you'll also be reaching new markets. Um, and so your messaging can blend in that regard. And I did notice that I didn't see too much variation. Like, most of their content was stuck in the awareness funnel. But then you see, like, Dr. Miami had this, like, discount or the giveaway for the surgery. That is a bottom funnel. Um, Legally, you're not allowed to. This would be false advertising if this was fake. Um, I'm pretty sure you can't legally make this a joke. Maybe I'm wrong. Can a lawyer tell me? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the giveaway is real. But people are talking about Santina in these comments. How did I get here? This is such a weird fucking live, y'all. My bad. I'm either sorry or you're welcome. So I'll have to do further processing on my thoughts because I have mixed feelings about the concept of plastic surgery. Because there are some people, to be real, it kind of gets infuriating when you think about the dystopian reality, how some people can pay for surgeries they don't need, but other people can't get life-saving procedures because of money. But then on the other hand, I also believe in autonomy and choice. So it's like if somebody wants to do something to their body, I'm like, go for it, whatever. But I just hate our dystopian reality, and I've got a lot of mixed feelings about cosmetic procedures, particularly with how they're aimed towards women. And the plastic surgery industry is typically a misogynistic, um, money making machine just meant to go after women's insecurities in order to profit off of them. And it's also like the most things, a lot of these things that you're doing to your body are very traumatizing to you physically and emotionally. And you know what I mean? And I guess it's like, so there could be ways to me to joke about these things, but the approach that he takes, I feel like it's one of those things where you say um negative things and then joke about how it's a joke, but it's actually what you really think. Kind of like how they kept joking about their beef or fighting and everything, but then, it obviously wasn't working out. Kind of like that. Um, so I do think they do a great job of connecting the permission marketing and the disruption marketing. Um, so permission based email marketing is particularly important because there's particularly with new regulations, to stop these practices. But a common thing people used to do would be like, if you hit up their business for any reason, they would then put you into their email list and start sending you emails. Or a lot of people, they'll be buying your emails from other people's leaked data and things like that. Like, so there's a lot of scammy and shady marketing practices out there, and some of the ways that people are trying to combat that are with regulations and laws such as the General Data Protection Regulation and California Consumer Privacy Act, and the spam stuff. Like, they're all trying to reduce that, but there's still like a lot of things. But all of this goes to show, it's typically more effective to reach out to somebody who actually wants to do business with you. And one of the ways, to get permission could be like, through loyalty cards, making sure people can opt in or out for your emails, things like that. And just giving people touch points and places to interact and do business with you is a better way to go about it. Um, because advertising, it can fall into interruption or permission based. So search engine optimization is always going to be permission based marketing because that's when somebody's looking things up and they are just deciding naturally whether or not to interact with you. The biggest difference between why making content organically, like on your own website, and it ranking being permission marketing is, nobody was forced to go look at all of that. That was all based on the information provided to them based on their search query. um, versus with social media, you don't necessarily get a choice at the pages that pop in your algorithm. um, and so all social media, when it's cold contacting to an audience that you're not connected with yet and they're not following you yet, that's gonna be interruption marketing. Um, and it's, the reason a lot of people can't grow their businesses is because of how difficult interruption marketing is with um, attracting views, and being able to consistently produce content with high views on top of trends, is a gift. Being able to track and stay on top of the trends and produce the content that quickly um, is a really good gift. And then being able to translate what is trending in the algorithms to other industries. All those things are really hard to do, and those are all things that I felt like Santina did really well. I honestly think in this case, the two things that, that she probably like made the biggest mistakes on were the client she chose. Um, would be like the client she chose, and would be kind of like, I don't know if she should be making her social media strategy for other people's, for clients focused on her. um you know what I mean? I do judge that personally, because to me it's like the focus of the content should be on the business that you're doing the social media for, not, hey, look how involved you are with the business. You know what I mean? Um, and that is something that I would criticize, because it's like, the fact is, at the end of the day, you got views, you got a lot of fans for you, but did you get sales for Dr. Santina with that social media strategy? And with the conversion rates, I'm wondering if you got between, like, I'm wondering how many sales could be attributed to you for lead generation. And it would be up to, your analytics to check to do that lead attribution. Um, and so there would be no way for me to know on the back end. But from the analytics that are available to me through third party, I just feel like the conversion rates are very, very small, you know? Um, and so you don't need that many views. You don't need all those followers and all of those views to get sales when you're doing permission marketing and you're reaching the right person in the right place at the right time who's given you permission. Um, and then we talked about the difference between permission marketing and interruptive marketing already, but I wanted to clarify also there is permission marketing and permission advertising. So permission advertising is paid and permission marketing is typically free strategies when you hear people referring to that. If someone's talking about permission marketing generally, they're typically referring to free organic strategies. And and the benefits are customer loyalty and targeted leads and increasing the relevance and everything like that. Um, and for me, I was just wondering, like, based on the way Dr. Miami talks about women and everything, like, I was just kind of curious. Like, I wasn't sure. I just didn't feel like he likely has like I don't know. I feel like he likely isn't getting that many customers from this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like each of these are getting like when you're reaching this many people, that can't be relevant to your target audience. And let me just go into that real quick. So there's a max number of people that are going to have the income to fly to Dr. Miami, and there's gonna that are already near Miami, Dr. Miami, that could get to Miami. You know what I mean? That want plastic surgery. That's a small number of people. So it's a very small percentage because over 50% of of people can't afford plastic surgery. Period. So that leaves out 50% of the population, right? Um, and then from there, you're gonna take out kids. Kids don't need no plastic surgery unless it's through a traumatic shit. But we don't want to think about that. So we're taking them out of this equation. Kids are not gonna be getting plastic surgery in my head. Fucking so that's reduces the population size there, right? So then you have that small proportion of people to go after. Um, and so for me, it's like you don't have that big of an audience, you know, for where getting these views are going to get you sales. At a certain level, there is a threshold, you know what I mean, where more views doesn't equal more sales. You got to reach the right market. And so if you're paying for someone to do your social media, but you're not getting sales from that, you know what I mean? Then it's a vanity metric. And again, I have no way to track any of this on the back end, and so I don't know if she is or is not making sales. I am just saying a potential analysis from what I see based on knowing other content creators with millions of views with limited sales, Um, and so yeah, but I'm so glad that we did this live. I think it was a good summary for permission marketing because I've talked a lot about consensual sales. I've talked a lot about the marketing funnel, but I haven't been able to show you permission marketing in the context of the marketing funnel. So I really think that the analysis of Santina leaving Dr. Miami was a great way to wrap all of that up. Um, I feel like I am repeating myself, so I'm gonna wrap all of this up now. Fucking, yeah. I'm going to tag Santina's TikTok account because I do admire, like, I know I was criticizing her appearance and presence in Dr. Miami's TikToks, but I don't want to make her feel bad or like make anyone feel bad like I was trying to make her feel bad with that social media strategy, because I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad one. I'm just pointing out the reasons it's a difficult one to replicate, because with that approach, you have to get way more views than you would need to otherwise in order to hit a sale. But at a certain level, you're going to also get you're going to uh, create ad fatigue faster that way. You're going to make it harder to get conversions that way. You're going to make your conversion rates lower. So there's just like there's not necessarily better, like that's a strategy. There's other strategies you can use that may or may not be better for you. So yeah, thank you for your time today. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. You might want to adjust the volume after all of this because a loud music is going to play. So yeah, adjust the volume. And then if you're coming to these lives anyway, I do have a loyalty program, nola.child.com/loyalty. If you sign up for my site as a member and you follow the check-in procedure, you can get points just for showing up to these lives anyway. So I just want to let you know about that. Yeah, I always have a really hard time saying goodbye because saying goodbye really just kind of feels like you're Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? Over here, just like Wilson. But anywho, yeah. So thank you for being here and goodbye.